Hey everyone, welcome back to my Dev Web App channel. Today I'm going to start building an app that contains solutions for the React interview coding tasks, and I'll provide and explain the solution to the React Counter app. Let's take a look at the design. As you can see, we have some headers, and also we have a count. Initially, it will be 0, and also we have two buttons. The first button is with plus sign, and pressing the button will increment the count by 1. And the second button is red with minus sign, and pressing the button will decrement the count by 1. And let's go to the code and build our application. I launched my Visual Studio Code, and now I'm going to create new app, and will provide command npm create beta at latest. And I need to provide project name, and it will be React interview tasks. Okay, and select React and JavaScript. Now I can navigate to my folder with the command and install dependencies with command npm install. Okay, and now I can run my dev server with command npm run dev and open it in the browser. Okay, and we have some initial code, and I'm going to clean up my application. Now I can hide this panel and remove all this code, and will provide header with text React interview challenges. Okay, and also I can remove all this use state, use effect, and let's check. And we have our header. I need to fix it. Challenges. Okay, and now I can go to app CSS and remove all styles, and I will leave styles only for root element, and also go to index CSS, and also will remove styles. I will remove all styles, and also from media, and I'm going to change place items to justified content, and let's check. Okay, and we have our header, and now I'm going to create a folder for components, and we'll build every task as separate component. Okay, and I'm going to add new folder and create components. And first component will be counter. We'll add counter JSX, and also I need counter CSS file for my styles. Okay, we'll add some styles, but for interview they are not required, but I'm going to add them to have a nice application. So, and now I can add functional component. It will start with function, and name will be counter, and return some JSX. I'll use React fragment, and will return some JSX. And let me add h2 tag and provide my first app and add name counter app. And now I can create container and add class name counter. And inside container we'll have button with minus, and also I'll add pen and will provide 0 initially, and also add button with plus sign. And now we can export our function and add it to our JSX. And let me add import my counter, import counter, and I'll add it below h1 tag. Let's check what we have. Okay, and we have our header and also our count and plus and minus. And let me add some styles. I'm going to import my counter CSS. Import from this counter CSS, and I will add some styles, and I'm going to add some styles for my container. I will make it display flex and also provide justify content by center and align items by center. Okay, and let's check. So actually we cannot see any difference because we haven't added classes to our buttons and also to our count. Let me add class name count here. And for button, let's add class name decrement. And for that, I'll add class name increment. Okay, and now I can provide my classes in CSS. And for count, I'll increase font size and make it 1.5 rem. And also add some padding like 0.5 rem. And also 1 rem for left right. Okay, and let's define some width like 2 rem, and let's check. Okay, and as you can see, we have our paddings, and let's add more styles, and I'll add container name because we are using plain CSS. I'll add styles for button, and I'm going to add some padding like 0.7 rem for top bottom and 1.5 rem for left right, and also add some margin 1 rem, and add font size like 1.5 rem. Let me change here to 2 rem. Okay, and also make cursor pointer, and also remove borders, and also let's add some border radius 5 pixels, and let's check. Okay, we have our buttons, and one more thing that we can change background color for decrement and increment. For decrement, I'm going to add background color to make it red, and let me add color over pseudo class and make background color dark red, and also I will change background color. And probably we need to add our container because I'm going to build several apps here, and we'll use plain CSS, and also we need to change class name and provide styles for increment, and we'll add green, and on hovering we'll make dark green. Okay, and let's check. And as you can see, we have our colors, and when I hover over the button, the color is changing. And also we can place color, apply color white. Okay. And now we can implement our React code, and often you need only implement React code and some JSX and styles will be provided. So, and now I need to add state variable, and I'll use hook use state, and initially we will have 0, and as you can see, use state returns a stateful value and a function to update it. And I need some variables to store the data that use state hook returns me, and I'll use count, and as function will be set count. And now I can place here count instead of 0. Let's check. And now we have 0 here. And now for decrement, I'll implement function on click event handler, and will call my set count and provide count plus 1. And also I can add the same function for increment, the same event handler. Here I need -1, and let's check what I have. Let me refresh and press plus, and I have incremented count, and by pressing this button the value is decremented, and it works, but it's not a great solution because we just used count, and some interviewers might ask you cons of this solution, and so we used count, but count might be any value, and we not always will have correct values. But in our case, we'll have correct values, but for some cases, this approach will not work. And for set count, we need to provide function that will get first count, and then decrease 1 from that pref count, and the same we need to do for our class, and use pref count, and this will safely update our count because we retrieved it based on the state. And let's check again. I'm going to refresh the page and press plus, and as you can see, the count was increased. And again, and press minus, and the count was decreased. I can refresh and try one more time, and everything looks good. And that's all that I had for the first challenge. If you like the video, subscribe to my Dev Web App channel, like the video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.